Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And we're really excited today. We're continuing on our little hidden gem series that we've been doing this year. And we're talking about a Netflix film. We're diving into the world of Netflix and a hidden gem that you might have missed in 2023. We're looking at Love at First Sight. And we think our listeners would really enjoy this cute little rom-com. And I am film critic Rachel Wagner. Mitu is here.
Hi.
How's it going?
Pretty solid. I just got a haircut, so I'm feeling lighter
Oh,
and ready to record.
that's good. You ready for fall?
Yes. Well, actually, let me not say haircut because I think that's a very specific thing. I really just got a trim. I'm not that adventurous.
Yeah, that's the thing about me is I have had, some people can tell what age they are by certain haircuts or styles or whatever. Not me. I've literally had the same haircut my entire life. I've never deviated.
Oh, same.
Since I was like, I think I've had short hair maybe once in my whole life.
Yes. Very
Always.
flattering, but possibly a
Yeah.
testament to the fact that my hair has never changed. I was mistaken for a college student twice in the last few weeks.
Uh-huh.
And it was wild because I'm so far outside of that age range. And I
Yeah.
was like, something about what I'm wearing or what I'm doing has
Yeah.
to grow up, but I have not grown up yet. So we'll see.
Well, that's funny too, because for most of my life, everybody always thought I was older than I was, especially because my mom had little ones. She had a baby when I was 18, a baby when I was 16, and a baby when I was 10. So there were usually kind of little ones. People thought I was older than I was, because of that. And it, but in the last few years, I feel like it's finally transitioned. And I've had people think that I am younger than I am for the first time in my life. It's like, oh, this is
You
new.
you must be part of the round face,
Yes.
like the round face community, because I think that's our benefit is like my whole life, very chubby cheeks.
Yeah,
And now
that's true.
I get to be all that whatever, like all of this like little round face and collagen in our faces. Now we get to be a little bit younger in
Yeah.
appearance.
Well, not part of the round face community is Haley Richardson, who's the star of this movie. She's adorable and beautiful, of course. And this movie, Love at First Sight, had you seen it? Had you heard of it?
No, and actually I watched it last night and very briefly I did curse your name because I was like, why does Rachel have me crying at 10 p.m. in my living room? Like this is not how I saw my Friday night going.
I'm sorry. Don't be too mad at me. Could have been a lot worse.
Because when I saw Haley Lee Richardson, I got excited because I loved her on The White Lotus. I think
Uh-huh.
that season of The White Lotus is my favorite of the show. And she is so particularly funny that I thought this would be maybe like an edgy comedy like that.
Oh,
And
uh-huh.
instead I was like, life is fleeting. Like I was like, okay.
You're like writing down life advice. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting it. That's funny. Yeah, I feel like this is one that kind of went under the radar because of Netflix, but it could have been a hit.
Yeah, it was lovely. Really
Yeah,
lovely.
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it again, and because I think I watched it when I was doing my end of the year romance ranking, so
Mm.
you see it kind of packed in, so just to see it sort of separate when I'm not having to binge all of these movies is kind of a different experience.
That's true. Yeah, you can
Uh,
really just focus on it.
Welcome to the life of a critic. It's crazy. But yeah, really sweet little movie. And I think that this is definitely one that our listeners would very much enjoy.
I think so too.
Yeah. So, two strangers connect on a flight to London only to be separated by a twist of fate. A reunion seems improbable, but love has a way of defying the odds.
I also love that they set the airport to do that as JFK Airport because that is an
Ah.
airport I will avoid with anything in me. Like I will just take any mode of transportation. I had to connect through JFK Airport recently on an international flight, and I was so nervous because it's such a tough airport. So
It
I love
really
the
is.
romanticization.
It's like 15 small airports all combined together. You feel
Yes,
like you're on a mini nation when you're in.
and it's all disconnected, and you often have to
Yeah.
re-go through security to get from one side to the other, which is something I had to do recently at JFK Airport. And it's such a mess. So I love the like romantic
Yeah.
notion of like, but maybe you'll meet the love of your life.
Yeah, I mean, could you believe these statistics that they said that one in every 50 relationships start at the airport?
That is wild because I feel like what I hear most often from friends is like you do not know if you want your partner to be your partner until y'all travel together. And so
Mm.
the because it can be such a complicated and tough experience, so the idea that one could be open to a possible romantic connection while traveling is wild because I feel like most of travel experiences are just either fine or harried.
8% of couples meet because of a misconnection.
That's wild. Usually, if I
What?
miss a connection, I'm going straight to a restaurant. I'm like having a sandwich, waiting it out.
Yeah, I
I had
mean,
not been open to love.
yeah, you were missing out. It worked
I
out
mean,
for you,
I've
thankfully.
been in
But
a relationship with the same person for nearly 11 years, so perhaps also I just haven't. Maybe I just didn't even think to look up.
I mean, I was stunned. That's a crazy number.
Yeah.
8%. I mean, I'm definitely missing out because
Yeah,
I don't
it's
even schedule. I mean, I schedule nonstop flights. I'm missing out on 8%.
yeah, we got to get you connecting through airports.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if certain airports are more profitable for love.
That's true. I need a little breakout data. I need the pull tabs for my people who've worked in campaigns
Yeah.
before, like the cross tabs, like which airports, what regions.
My friend is a flight attendant. I'll have to ask him if he has
Yeah.
any theories on the subject. If he thinks that man, I didn't even think about I should have had him on the for this
Oh, that would
because
have been fun.
yeah, I didn't even think of that. But yeah, the the setup of travel being this gateway to love is something I hadn't quite considered.
No, I only thought of travel as a relationship test, not a relationship spark.
I agree. That's
I
true.
I was told the first time I went on an international trip with my partner many, many, many years ago, I was told like, well, if y'all come back from this, you'll know. Which kind of made me scared. I told him this after, but I put insurance on my ticket because I was like, if I need to cancel it, like I'm getting the full refund.
That's funny. Well, I mean, I wonder if certain trips are more likely to test than I mean,
Fair.
yeah, like certain trips turn out to be like midsummer and then others turn to be
Hey, just want to hang with my friends
helpful.
on this mountain real quick.
Yeah. But but she misses her flight. So she's part of this 8%.
And here's my additional theory that I don't think we factored into the data, which again is why we need the crosstabs. If you have flown anywhere internationally, I would argue it's so much more of a difference than when you fly domestically. The difference between coach, business class, and first
True.
class. When you travel domestically, a first class seat is just a bit wider. Like that's really it, which can make a big difference for people for sure. But it's not this like particularly elevated experience, except for
Yeah,
like, I think there's like a couple, Delta One type of cross country flights. Beyond that, it's not a big difference. The difference between flying coach and business class and first class traveling internationally is tremendous.
that's true. Like we've
It's
all
a
seen
much better vibe in
yeah,
business class or first class.
we've all seen Crazy Rich Asians in that bed and everything. I mean, yeah,
Yes.
it's
So
wild.
I too think I could be convinced to fall in love. My partner and I joke about this. We were flying internationally a few years ago to East Africa, and our seats, they offered us an upgrade for like not that much money. I think they just undersold their business class. And so we were like, yeah, we'll probably never have this experience again. So we upgraded our seats, and it was so nice. And I hate like nuts, like peanuts, cashews. I for some reason I just
Oh,
don't like them. In first class, they offered us like a little plate of warm nuts. I ate those bad boys up. There was not a single thing they did not give me that I did not consume.
yeah.
I don't drink. I still tried a sip of the champagne. I was like, when will I ever experience this again? And it was just like such a joy.
Well, have you ever heard of Nonstop Dan on YouTube? Nonstop Dan.
No,
Oh my gosh, you got to follow him.
I will.
He that's what he does is review like luxury. I swear he must
Mm.
just spend all his time flying from like
Oh,
Dubai to
is this that?
Korea.
He's like a British dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, I think I've seen this.
yeah. He flies well no, he's not British, but
Oh, there might
yeah,
be another one I've
yeah,
seen.
but no, he flies like these crazy a lot of them are like through Dubai. Like these long flights and this reviews very entertaining. I mean, I will never do any of the I mean, I wouldn't even have any reason to actually go to any of these places. I mean, I guess if I got the opportunity, but yeah, you got to check out his channel. He's very entertaining.
I
And I
will.
live vicariously through him because I actually kind of hate travel. I mean, I like once I'm there, I like the experience of traveling, but the travel part of it usually sucks.
Oh, I was thinking about Trek Trendy is the person's name.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
agree. Until I had that business class experience, because I have flown
yeah.
like 10 hours, 12 hours, and I always joke with my friends that it's like steerage. Like you feel like you're in the bottom of the
Oh
Titanic when
yeah,
you're in coach on those long flights.
yeah,
But in business class, when they
yeah.
were like, we're getting ready to land, I felt sad. I was like, why is this
Well, no,
experience have to
it's.
end?
I was actually just talking to my mom about this because I'm planning a trip to Toronto, and I'm going like dirt poor, like dirt poor.
Yeah.
I'm staying in a youth hostel on a bunk, like it's
Yeah.
cheap as possible, because I'm super poor, and I do think that travel is one of the biggest quality of life differences
Huge.
if when between money and not money, because a lot of stuff that you get with money it doesn't actually improve quality of life, like for instance the difference between a designer shirt and a not designer shirt is not qualitatively better for your quality of life, right? Or like most fancy food is just nominally better. It comes out of a little squirt bottle or whatever, but it's not really that much better than like not fancy food. And but travel, it is true. It is significantly better.
Yes, and I'm so sorry to have derailed us, but that is like the other element that I feel is missing in Oliver and Hadley's story.
Yeah.
Because if I found myself in business class and I didn't think I'd be finding myself in business class, Oliver would be like that plate of mixed nuts that I ate, where I
Yeah, you're
truly
right. That's
I
true.
have not eaten a plate of mixed nuts since. And like I don't like trail mix. I don't like any of it. But
Yeah.
in that moment, in that business class, I tore them up, and that would have
Yeah.
been my Oliver experience. Those were my Oliver.
So I've said this before and I'll say it again, but I'm pretty confident about this. The ideal the ideal airplane movie, Mamma Mia.
Yes.
Because Mamma Mia, it's not because you don't want to watch anything on the airplane that'll make you cry because people are watching. You don't want to watch anything that'll make you cry. You don't want anything that'll make your heart race, be too tense, be excited, too exciting. And and obviously you don't want anything that has any kind of like bad travel or bad whatever. So like Mamma Mia, no sad parts because a lot of rom-coms have sad parts. No
That's true.
sad parts. It's entirely pleasant. It's about like Greece or wherever. It's it's set in a tropical place,
Yes.
and it's completely positive, happy. it's, it's the
Pierce Brosnan singing.
Mamma Mia is the ideal choice. It doesn't have anything too racy because that's the other thing. You don't want because people are watching around you. Like you don't want to. That's embarrassing. So it's the ideal choice.
I actually love a plane cry. I read this article a long time ago about how, like, apparently when we watch movies in the sky, we just like feel more emotional more easily.
Yeah.
So I love a Mamma Mia. I've watched Grease recently on a flight. That was also a good
Ooh.
one because it's just fun with fun music. But I also watched, I want to say You've Got Mail. Yes. And when they find each other in Central Park, it is such a silly scene. But she's like, "Oh, I hoped it was you." I
Yeah.
sobbed. I broke down. I was like, "She did hope it was him, and it was. It was never Greg Kinnear."
Yeah. Hi, shop girl. And Y152.
Ho, ho, ho! We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcasts, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Yeah. Well, let us know what you think about this travel thing, and what to you makes for a great flight. What's the ideal movie? But we get like a real meet cute. I mean, these two bond very quickly.
Yes, they fall in love in the 6-hour flight, and they were helped along by Jamila Jamil, who was kind of like
Yeah.
this surreal, magical character, the narrator of our story, and the flight attendant who put him in the seat next to Hadley.
Yeah, what did you think of her character? She's kind of the fairy godmother of the story. You see her as a flight attendant, as a cab driver, I think at one point. Like throughout, she's sort
Yeah.
of our narrator and our fairy godmother.
She even finds Hadley's bag. She gives Hadley directions to the memorial service. I liked that a lot. I have not seen Jamila Jamil in many projects since The Good Place, but I think she has such a fun and funky voice for this kind of like fairy tale type of thing. So I loved her narration at the beginning, and I thought she would just kind of be like this almost monitoring storyteller character. And instead, we got to have a little bit of her in the story as well. Like you said, a fairy godmother kind of pushing things along. And I thought that was really fun and sweet. And I think it helped to break up some of the tension sometimes because this movie does get very sad.
Yeah, I mean, especially his track, but hers as well. I mean, you definitely it feels like these are authentic problems that I think are supposed to be 20
Yeah.
that 20-year-olds would have and be dealing with a lot of
Yes.
pain. It feels very relatable.
The casting of Rob Delaney as her father was also great. I did think it was wild that she learned of her parents' divorce because her dad gets a job in London and she's like, "Oh my goodness, we get to move to London. That's so fun." And she just goes off for a while. And
Yeah.
then her mom is like, "Just your dad is moving, honey." And it was just like, is this how she learns? Like you get her on the roller coaster and then you just take her up high just to
Yeah.
drop her. Like it was wild, a wild delivery.
Yeah, probably not what I would recommend.
Not in
I'm
any
no child
parenting book.
psychologist. Yeah,
No,
but probably
that
not
is
the
not how
best.
Dr. Spock would have done it.
No, no. So her dad is getting married in London, so she's off for that, and then his mother has cancer,
Yes.
and they are doing a living memorial. And I'm curious to hear your opinion about this. This is one of those things that I think sounds nice in theory, but I actually think it's pretty cruel
It seems really sad. I mean,
to make your, because it's not like it's actually, I think it's like in the end super selfish, because it's not like when you do die that your family won't go through the same mourning process, the same thing that they would if they hadn't had this experience, if they hadn't had the living memorial. So
yeah.
in the end, the only person that it benefits is the person dying. It doesn't benefit, because the whole point of a funeral is to comfort the bereaved, comfort the sad, sad people, the mourners. It's not for the person. It's for the people left behind. And so if they have to go through that twice,
Yeah.
you're literally making, just for your own ego, to be able to hear all these great things people saying about you. You're making your loved ones go through that twice.
I had a different read on it where, in my mind, I think you're just allowed to be incredibly selfish if you've been dealt a tough set of cards like that. So
Mm.
I thought, like, she gets to hear all the beautiful things that people believe about her before she has to meet what appears to be a very untimely end.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my like hang up with the events that they're both at was the fact that there was 4 hours between the wedding ceremony and the reception.
Yeah.
I was stunned by that time gap. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
what happened?
I've heard of that happening sometimes, where there will be, I've heard of that. The long, I mean, I haven't been in that many, big weddings, but I've had ones where we end up going to lunch or something like that in between, that there'll be a break. But yeah, 4 hours is pretty long. I mean, they kind of had to have it that way so she'd have enough time
Yes.
to, get lost in London, and her dad, all that stuff kind of had to happen. But yeah, it is a long wait. I mean, to make people, that's a long cocktail hour.
I mean, people will either be rowdy or asleep by the time y'all come back.
Yeah, you're planning like a wedding, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I wouldn't recommend that.
No, the transition between the ceremony and the reception for us, I think the planner said it would be about 25 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
I just
But,
don't know how else you
but
do that because the risk is I go take a nap and it's over.
yeah,
I'm sleeping.
you're like, well, to the planner. Well, what about we have enough time to get lost in London? We need to
Yeah,
schedule that in.
exactly. What if someone here met someone hot in first class?
Yeah.
Let's think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I come to your wedding, you need to schedule that in.
Exactly. You
My
just have to
friend
make
needs
sure
time.
it's a one stop.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like I agree that the living memorial sounds nice. The idea of people sharing their feelings about somebody while they're still alive instead of when they're dead. But again, I think that denies the actual purpose of a memorial / funeral. It's not for the person, it's for the family.
Yeah.
So you really are making your family go through that twice. And
Yes.
And yeah, I don't know, it just hit me watching this that, like, no, that's actually not a good idea. Like, I think it's one of those things that sounds good, but when you really think about it and what's happening, not good.
Yeah, it's very sad, especially when he gets up and he does his eulogy. It broke my heart.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I would just have a party, like not call it a living.
Yeah.
Just have a party. I want to have a party before, and see my friends. Like there's nothing that to me is different than then you wouldn't even need the eulogizing. You wouldn't even need all of that, but I just want to see people. There's nothing. I think that's the better way to go.
Yeah, and I think like 80% of it seemed like that because it was Shakespearean themed. People were in costumes, they're performing monologues and dances. His brother performed an EDM tribute and DJ'd on stage, which was very funny. I think it just, when he got up to speak, that to me is when it felt most like a memorial service. And then I thought it was really sweet that he and Hadley had their, like, you know, the classic moment in a rom-com where they part briefly. And she says, you know, why do you always do that? Explain things away with numbers and stuff instead of being honest.
He's a statistic guy.
Because he's a Yale statistician. And he gets up and he has that classic moment where he tries to eulogize his mom and he talks about how many lunches she's made and how much advice she's given him. And then, you know, he does like the classic movie thing where he sets the speech aside and he's like, actually, you know, I can't measure my mom's life in numbers. And I thought that was really sweet. And I did tear up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very sweet. And I would say both of these leads are really good in this.
Fantastic.
Both. Yeah.
I don't think I would have cried as much as I did if they weren't selling it. Because even on the other side of it, when she gets lost, when she leaves the memorial service, because he kind of pushes her away because he's hurting himself, and she calls her dad because she's lost. So it's like, even though they have this strained relationship where she didn't even want to read the book that he recommended to her, which is like their thing, I thought it was very sweet. This still, like, when I'm lost, who do I call? My dad.
Yeah, yeah. So is Haley Lou Richardson, is she on like the White Lotus just for one season or multiple seasons?
She was just in one season. She was she had a really fun character. Like, she had a fascinating arc. I didn't really like White Lotus season 1. I had mixed feelings on season 3, but season 2 I loved.
Oh.
And that's the one she was on. And her character specifically, she kind of plays, you know, on these like ridiculous shows, you have the character that almost feels like the audience's view into what's going on. So it was a lot of her like practically doing like the Office Jim to camera, like, what the hell is this person saying? It was a lot of that through her character. And she just sees some things that she reacts to that are very funny.
Yeah. Because she's such a good actress and she hasn't been in anything since this, which is kind of shocking.
That is wild to me.
Yeah. So I was like, that's why I was thinking, well, was she just been on television? But it sounds like no, because that was 2022. So I don't know what's going on, but we need to get her back because she is really good. She's good in this. She's good. There's a drama called the Montana Story, which I saw at Sundance in 2021, and that was good. She's really good. 5 Feet Apart, if you've ever seen that.
Oh yeah,
that'll rip your heart out. And Support the Girls. It's not my favorite, but she's really good in it.
I liked that movie a lot.
Yeah.
I like Regina Hall a lot.
Yeah, she's very good. All the it didn't have quite enough story for my taste, but it is good, and she's good. And so yeah, I mean, let's get her. Haley Steinfeld can be in everything, so let's bring Haley Richardson in for whatever's left. Other roles.
It's true.
You can have Zendaya and Haley Steinfeld, and then let's get Haley Richardson.
Yeah, let's get her in the mix.
Yeah.
Because the way she delivers the line, when her dad finally shows up, she says something to the effect of, "Promise you won't freak out." And he says, "No, but I still want to know what happened." That little exchange that they had, that almost made me tear up too. Because I just think about, even in my grown age, the number of times I've called my dad and been like, "Okay, there's a weird noise in my washing machine. Can I just hold my phone up to it and you tell me what this means?"
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, even at 44, still, my dad was just over here yesterday helping me with my washer and dryer.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Because I mean, no man is an island. We need help.
No, we need our parents sometimes or
Yeah.
whatever those figures are for us. And so
Yeah.
for you, me, and Haley Lou, it's our dads.
Yeah. Well, and I do think that the conflict did feel pretty genuine for
Yeah.
both of them, and that her dad she had to kind of accept her dad was a flawed person. And I do think that is a big thing that sort of happens in our in those years when you're around 20-ish, that realizing that oh wow, our parents were just figuring it out every day. They were
Yeah.
just
Oh, they're human.
they were just winging it.
Whoa. It's true. Because, I mean, he did move on pretty fast from her mom. That is
Mhm.
scary. And then the wife was like young and hot.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
uh-oh.
Hmm.
But here's my one confusion with Hadley's character and Oliver's character. Are they just eating dry sandwiches? Like
Oh
the
yeah.
no mayo thing, that is
Yeah.
that is the lubricant for sandwiches. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Like,
I'm glad you brought that up. She says the things that scare her are mayonnaise, small spaces, and dentists,
yes.
which yeah, it could be could be a problem.
I just
Uh,
like when I thought about that because when her dad shows up to save her and he's with his new wife and the wife offers her a bite of her sandwich, which was odd, just at its
well,
core. But she goes,
she'd
no.
fit in Europe because that was one thing that drove me crazy. And I was in general wasn't the biggest fan of the food in Spain
Yeah.
when I went to Spain, and particularly like everything was undersauced.
Yes.
I didn't know that was an American thing. We need our sauces and everything, even the paella, everything. It was like, this is dry. I need some sauce. And they'd have these sandwiches that were dry, no sauce.
Like,
What is happening?
do they have just really strong throats? Like, we're not
Oh,
scared of choking hazards here. What's going on? I cannot neck a cheese sandwich without some kind of something. And then, like, with this thick, dry, crusty bread. Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Give me a little something to help this along. It's true. Yeah,
When
I
I
was very confused when she and her dad were like, no, she doesn't like mayo. It's like,
when
please.
I came home, so we had this recurring joke with my brother-in-law that oh there was no sauces unlike anything in Spain. And when I came home, I went to Red Robin, just happened to go to Red Robin, and they had like 15 different sauces on the table. And I
Yeah.
took a picture of it, sent to my brother-in-law, and was like, God bless.
My hottest take about European food, for the most part, not to be too broad with it, is that it's fine, but the best food I ever eat if I'm in London or Paris or like Amsterdam or anywhere or Berlin is like my favorite food is when I eat the like food from people who immigrated there. Like the best food in Berlin to me is like Turkish food, or in London, obviously, like all the Jamaican food and Indian food and West African food. Like that is what's fire in these places. I went to a really great West African restaurant in Paris. Like there's great food from other places, but otherwise it's
Yeah.
undersauced and underseasoned with love
Yeah.
with
Sure.
love to
Oh, I mean,
Europe. Please don't come for me. I did recently go to Italy. That was delicious. I remember
yeah.
that food being really lovely when I went like years and years ago, and I went a couple weeks ago to northern Italy, and
Oh,
I
fun.
ate so well. Um, but truly, like carving that out, maybe carving out our friends in Greece, it is like undersauced might be the term here.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little more
Yeah.
salt,
I
pepper.
mean,
Try a paprika here and there, guys.
yeah, even in Italy, don't get salads.
Yeah, that's true.
Americans know how to do salads.
It's true.
Salads, it's just like a little bit of fricassee. Like I'm like, no, I need actual stuff in my
Yeah,
salad.
bitter lettuce and a little oil does not a salad make. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's my hot take as an American.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, they have to leave some things for us to do the best.
That's true.
And so we're like, we'll take salads and we'll take sauces.
My friend went to Paris recently and said that the food was a study in beige. She was
Mm.
like, it was just like poached fish on a cream with like white asparagus. She was just like, every meal was beige. And I was in Paris last December and I was like, that's actually exactly it. It was just like, just so
Yeah.
many beige
I've never been to
things.
Paris, but I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it, But I mean, obviously there's tons of good food in Paris,
Of
but
course. But I would argue a lot of that great food is when they do the fusion or when it's like a
yeah.
restaurant and someone is there. Like I had great like I think it was like a Japanese chef did like a fusion with
Mhm.
French food. So it was like French food, but with like all these flavors and
Yeah.
let's keep innovating, Europe.
Yeah, for sure. So, but I mean, I can understand not wanting something that's like gloopy, that mayonnaisey texture,
Sure.
but I, I feel like where do you draw the line? I mean, is she just not a fan of like, could she have ranch or is that out?
If you're doing a focaccia, a ciabatta, uh, any kind of
Like, what
baguette,
about yogurt? Like, is that out too? Yogurt, that is the same texture as mayonnaise.
can we at least do a brie, a soft cheese? Because now I'm concerned. Can your esophagus really take that down? Like, I cannot
Yeah.
overstate my concern with the no mayo is logistics. How do we
Yeah.
get this food down safely? This is scratchy, crunchy bread. We need a lubricant here.
Yeah, you do. So if you don't like peanut, do you like peanut butter?
I can do peanut butter. I could do a little peanut butter. I don't do a lot of it.
Mm.
But I just don't like, for some reason, nuts just, unless someone wants to sponsor me for a first class experience again, I do, which I'm open.
Yeah, hey.
I just like I just don't like them for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
So maybe that's my weird thing. Maybe that's my no mayo.
his three are much more reasonable. His three
Yes.
fears: germs, the dark, and surprises. I'm a. I mean,
I think
I
I'm 3 for 3 on that.
I'm great. So
Well, he
much
said
more.
that and I said, wow, opened my journal, put it in a Netflix movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know about dark. I'm not really scared of the dark, but it's a reasonable scare
I'm terrified of the dark and
because you might trip, you might fall.
yeah.
Whereas,
And like shadows become really scary in the dark. Is someone there? I know I locked all my doors, but who knows? Maybe the
because
most
her.
clever person in the world just slipped in through a window.
So, what would you have as your three fears
Um,
if you were?
I would say also the dark. Maybe germs is wrong, but something like that. Like I cannot overstate the discomfort I feel when I go in a public restroom and I see someone come out of the stall and just walk right out. And it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. I feel like real distress. And then, based on this movie, right? Like just the fleeting notion of life. But I do think there's a more fun one in this film, which was, what was it? It was like favorite color, favorite food, favorite animal, favorite number. What are yours?
Ooh. Well, I was gonna say, I mean, all of my fears are some variation of my sort of uncomfortableness with animals, which has been
Mhm.
since I was little. And I've worked and once I get to know an animal, I'm fine with it. But that initial, I do have a bit of an animal phobia. So most of mine would be like dogs or rats
Whoa.
or bugs. I
Yeah.
if I feel like there's a bug on me, I get very. So those are triggering for me. I don't really have that much else of things I'm afraid of. But I don't like onions. That's not a fear, but it's similar to I think the mayonnaise thing.
Mm.
I if an onion can be part of say a chili or sauce or something like that, but and if it's caramelized or cooked down, it can be good. But I find that most of the time, especially raw, onions overtake whatever it is you're eating. So it's like
That's fair.
it's especially raw. It's like if it's in a potato salad or something, it's all I can taste. It's just onion, 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 and so onion I don't like for the most part. And so that would be my, I guess, food thing that I don't like is onions. But I think that's I don't even know if I have onions um and animals. Those are my I guess my two fears. But as far as favorites, what were the favorites that you said?
They had their exchange with each other to calm her down because she was scared to take off on the flight was favorite color, favorite food, favorite animal, and favorite number.
Okay, so favorite color is purple.
Okay.
Favorite food, well, I feel like you have to say favorite dessert and favorite like regular food.
Separate. Okay.
So for a long time, it was always lemon meringue pie, but you got to have the lemon real strong. I like it quite tart. So that was my birthday thing for a long time was lemon meringue pie. I do love lemon in general, lemon flavored things.
Yeah.
And then as far as food, actually really good spaghetti and meatballs is probably my favorite food.
That's nice.
And then what was the other ones?
Favorite animal, favorite number. Well, it sounds like maybe no favorite animals.
My favorite animal would probably would be like a dolphin or something in the ocean.
Yeah.
Favorite numbers. My favorite number, I guess 12.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. But what about you?
I don't have a favorite color.
Ooh.
My favorite food is anything my mom makes, which I know sounds corny, but she's a very, very good cook. She has one of those you know how people have perfect pitch where they can like listen to any sound and kind of like mirror it or tell you what note it is. She has that with food where like if we go to a restaurant, it does not matter what cuisine it is or what is the ethnic origin or anything. She'll taste it. And if we really like it, like my dad will be like, I love this soup. And she'll just like taste it, take her time with it, and then she'll be able to recreate it at home.
Oh.
And it's just like, it's a skill that I would love to adopt. And I'm trying to get better at like figuring out how to parse out tastes like that. But she's a genius. I don't think I have a favorite dessert. I like very fudgy things. Like I love a brownie. I love a cookie bar. Favorite animal is my dog. She's the center of my universe. And my favorite number, I think, is the number 4.
Yeah. You want to have an even number.
Yeah.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
So I'm also curious if your dad were to give you a book,
Yeah.
what book do you think he would give you?
Oh, my dad has given me many books because my father was a businessman in the 90s. So he gave me like Who Moved My Cheese. He gave me and then like there was a period, I'm sure this period still exists, I just don't engage in it, where a lot of like I guess high profile men were writing like business books. So for some reason I have a memory of reading, what's that conservative guy's name?
Like
Bill
Tony,
O'Reilly. Like I think
oh,
like
Bill
Bill
O'Reilly,
O'Reilly
yeah.
like wrote a business book or something, and my dad had it and gave it to me. So a lot of that, and then the other thing. So obviously not a literature forward home, and then the other thing my dad gave me a lot of was like my dad and I both love reading, loved reading John Grisham and Tom Clancy because my dad traveled a lot for work.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a lot of airport books in my home. That is what my dad would give me often. So I'd be like 8 years old waiting for the next John Grisham drop.
Well, my dad, he's not like a great reader, but he has his genres that he likes, like everybody. And he particularly likes like adventure narratives, like
Oh,
some,
that's cool.
yeah, like and he likes historical, like Stephen Ambrose and people like that.
Yeah.
You know, one of his favorites was Men to Match My Mountains, which was about the building of the railroad.
Mm,
So yeah, he likes that kind of story, which I enjoy. So he would probably get something like that, I'm guessing. If he got me a book, he certainly wouldn't get me Our Mutual Friend. It's not even like a normal Dickens. It's like an obscure, like
yeah.
who's read, you know what I mean? Like it's not like it's like Oliver Twist or Tale of Two Cities, or like the
No, deep cuts only.
yeah. And not only does he get her Our Mutual Friend, he can quote it and he
Yeah.
recognizes quotes from the book. I'm like, this guy's a scholar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
truly.
That was pretty impressive. And so she's read it, which is pretty impressive for a 20-year-old to read Our Mutual Friend. Have you ever read any of those Dickens books?
I mean, probably many moons ago.
Well, so he has this more approachable ones. Obviously, Christmas Carol would be the
Yeah.
most, and then Oliver Twist, and then Tale of Two Cities. Those are probably the most approachable. Great
Yeah.
Expectations
Yes.
would be also be, but some of those are tough going. Like obviously he's brilliant in the stories, but because he was getting paid per word, and it was written, what do they call it? Not chronologically. What do you call it when it's split up and it was published? I can't think of the word, but it was published in like the Reader's Digest of the day.
Oh, like in little periodicals?
Yeah, periodically. Yeah, that's the word.
Hmm.
Periodically. And so some of them, it can be
Yeah.
rough going. And I mean, it just a lot of the novels from that era can be rough going. Like I have never been able to get through Les Miserables. I love the musical, but that
Yeah.
book, I swear, you're like, could we have another section about the sewers? There's so much about the sewers. And I mean, there are some examples where you're better off with the movie.
That's true.
I think Far from the Maddening Crowd. I love that movie. I love both versions, the 1968 version and the 2015 version. And so I was like, oh, of course I'll like this book. Woo, it was rough.
Can I give you like a really lowbrow version of that?
Uh-huh.
I watched the Hunger Games movie
Uh-huh.
a long time ago. Excuse me. And I never read the books. And I recently, in 2020, when we all sort of were like, how do we
Yeah.
pass hours in a day? So I don't know. Let me try reading the first Hunger Games book. I watched the movie and I liked the movie. And I finished that first book and I said, wow, I've never thought this before in my life, but the movie was much better.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you bring that up because Katniss was named after the lead character in Far from the Maddening Crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's all coming. You're
Shout out.
people listening, and God bless you for listening, because we've been on a lot. There's not that much that happens in this movie.
Yes,
so
that's true.
forgive some tangents because it's just like, how are we making everything connect? I mean,
Well-
it's basically they meet on the plane and then they get separated. And then
Jamila Jamil brings them together.
Yeah, and then they meet again. I mean, it's really not. It's not a high plot movie.
But I love that his research project, the reveal of that being, can he statistically prove that love at first sight is possible? Like, obviously, we could have seen something like that coming, but I thought it was so cute.
Yeah, that was cute. And it just they did a really good job of making you invested in both of these people
Yes.
and making you want them to be together.
Yeah,
Because of cute things like that.
when they said that they, Jamila Jamil is doing the like closing message and she says, and they ended up being together for 58 more years. I thought that was so sweet because on one hand, do I think someone who starts dating someone at 20 years old, like, is that supposed to be the person you're with forever? I'm not sure. But in that moment, while listening to that narration, I was like, that's so sweet. 58 years later, they're still together.
The key, and I'm certainly no relationship expert, but in my opinion, I think the key is you have to be with somebody who's willing to let you grow with them.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's any better to find love young versus finding love old. Because if I were to find love now at 44, and hopefully I will, if that were to happen, it would be a world of trouble because I am so set in my ways. I've lived alone all of these years. It would be challenging in a way that finding love at 20 wouldn't be. And so every relationship just has its own, challenges and struggles because when you're 20, you don't have all those preconceived notions and expectations. And also, I mean, I imagine if I got married now, I would also have built it up to all these things. I'd probably have all these expectations of what it's supposed to be like and what, that would where you're not going to have that at 20. So I think this idea of like, well, people, you can't control when things happen for the most part, it just happens when God deems it to happen, when it's supposed to happen. And you do the best you can with the situations that you have in your life. But I don't think there's some like inherent, it's bad, young, good, old.
I don't think there's any sweet spot of when it's supposed to happen beyond hopefully you just have a solid sense of yourself.
Yep. And so let's see here. What do we have next? So it was interesting when she goes to she finds him at the memorial because he goes in for the kiss and she says, I want to kiss you, but you said to be honest.
Yeah.
And then he says, this is the worst day of my life. And
before the worst day of his life.
Yeah. And I think that were you surprised at all that she said what would have been dishonest about the kiss?
I think because he was not fully expressing himself. Like she's asking him how he's doing and he's like, these are the statistics around my mom's health and what's going on. And so I think it wouldn't have been going into that kiss in the world of a rom-com, like very vulnerable, bared, open. Instead, he still had a bit of that wall of not fully breaking down and expressing how he's feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, that he's not processing what's happening really. So that he needs to talk, not kiss.
Yes. And so when they do finally have their kiss much later, they're both wide open for it,
Yeah. And so that's when he says that why he says to his mom that why aren't you trying harder? Why aren't you fighting this? And she says that she wants to live out, she doesn't want to be sick. Like she doesn't want to be but you could have more time. And when he says, but you would be here.
Yeah, it's tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely hard. And I think at least trying is, it seems like she didn't communicate that well the try to him. That like, yes, maybe she made the decision, but she probably maybe could have explained her point of view a little bit better.
Yeah, I think somewhat similarly to learning that your parents are getting divorced because you start packing a
Yeah.
bag and they're like, sis, put away that away suitcase. You're not going anywhere. I think similarly, his parents could have done a better job because obviously it's a huge decision to choose to stop treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And so clearly a ton of thought went into it. And then she like explained her reasoning. And you're right that it seemed like he just didn't have that clarity from jump. And then when he got that,
how painful the treatment would be,
yeah,
what would it be like, maybe give a little bit more context.
yeah, that, 6 more months together, but 6 months of me being, in this altered state is not necessarily me being here per se. And then I thought it was so sweet the interaction he had with his dad after, where his dad said, even if I knew all this, I would still choose your mom and this path.
That was sweet. That was
Yeah.
very sweet. I do think it's like a tiny bit unrealistic that her dad wouldn't have been a little bit annoyed with her. Like,
Oh, Hadley's dad?
yes.
Yes.
Like, I mean, it's on a very stressful day.
Yeah.
In the best of circumstances, his daughter just leaves, and now he has to leave the wedding party to go find her somewhere, and like, I thought, I mean, this is not gritty realism. I get that, but still, like the fact that he wasn't a little bit upset. I mean, I think most people would be justifiably a little upset.
I think she was cashing in on some dad guilt.
Yeah, I guess so.
He was like a few months after the divorce, already found me a new hot thing, dragging my daughter out here to be part of the wedding. He knew at some level, the bride knew on some level, like, this is inappropriate to like bring this 20-year-old into this fold without like a better sort of onboarding to this. It's just sort of like, here's your new mom. So I think that while he would have been miffed, certainly, I think she was cashing in on some guilt, some parental guilt.
That his base response was, sounds like you're being brave. I'm like,
yeah,
come on.
That's not what my dad would have said. My dad would have been like, you found your way out there, you can find your way back. Actually, that is a lie. I'm deeply spoiled. My father would have come.
Oh, my father would have come.
But he would have been miffed about it.
He would have been a little irritated, rightfully so. Been like, what are you doing? But it was a nice conversation. She says, why didn't you fight for mom? Why didn't you fight for us?
Yeah.
And it reminds me of a movie Stepmom, which we have a whole episode of Hallmarkies podcast about. But when she says that, why do you think this new relationship will be better if it wasn't good enough, if we weren't good enough, if we weren't, that, and that movie.
My friend last year was like, I really need a good cry. What do you recommend? And I immediately said Stepmom.
Yeah.
If you want to sob,
yeah,
Stepmom, and you'll get everything out. It's like wasabi. Like, it'll clear your sinuses.
And then as another slight, but it goes on, this movie is Chris Columbus is like the patron saint of divorce movies.
Yeah, that's true.
There are almost no movies, like almost no family films that it's crazy, because you would think that that's such a common experience that it would be portrayed and featured more in family films than it is to help. A lot of times it's like The Parent Trap, which is a nightmare for divorced people. Yeah. But there are very few, and most of them are directed by Chris Columbus. Miss Doubtfire Mrs. Doubtfire and Stepmom. Just to name a few.
And Jingle All the Way.
And yes, and the Santa Claus that they're divorced.
That was a
But
good divorce movie too.
there's very few. Isn't that interesting?
That's true. It's kind of like that couple that made all those throuple movies. I think they're still making them. It's like I actually thought that movie was so beautiful. Past Lives and Challengers, like that couple that just keeps making these movies where they're in love with more than one person. I don't know what's going on in that relationship, but they found their niche, and frankly, I don't think they've missed. Like I've enjoyed these movies, but it's just a lot of throuple movies.
I guess you find your niche these days, right?
Yeah, sometimes you just find your footing, and sometimes it's a third foot.
But it was a nice conversation.
Yeah,
that, and a nice moment between them. And he
that
just
needed to happen.
Somewhere along the way, we just stopped putting in the work.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson, and I don't want to lose you too. And I never meant to hurt you. So, I mean, there's just collateral damage, in we're not islands. We're not alone. That our actions will inevitably sometimes hurt people, and
That's true.
You have to deal with that. And he just says, "I'm sorry," and that was nice in a moment for him. And then she says, "I'm glad you're happy, Dad."
That was very sweet.
Yeah. And she loses her backpack at the memorial service.
Yeah. And Jamila Jamil brings it to the family.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, and he finds her wedding invitation, so then he knows where to find her. And
that was a good scene where the family was getting lost on the way to the wedding. Like, you get a further sense of their goofy personalities of mom, dad, and brother all drove very chaotically to get Oliver to that wedding.
And then, the fairy godmother says, "Are you going to have a good ending?" That was nice. We have the father-daughter dance. And that's very sweet. It says December 21st is the best day of the year to be in love. Did you know this?
No.
Because 2,380,000 Christmas lights are strung in I mean, I'm not sure why December 21st is any better than any other day in December, but this is according to this movie 20. All the couples falling in love this day, only one really matters.
Yeah.
Our leads, of course. And
what's the name of the movie? Please No One Fight Me. I just forgot the name. It's like kind of not a Christmas movie. The Red-Nosed Day.
Oh, Love Actually.
It felt very Love Actually with the open at the airport and the close of all the numbers. It was very Love Actually.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and they and it says, "Do you like that surprise?" After that, because he's scared of surprises. I'm also not a big fan of surprises. I think that the surprises are rarely the effort that goes into the surprise element almost never is equal to if you're talking about a fun versus work ratio. Yeah, it's off. Work to fun, like the enjoyment is not increased usually by it being a surprise enough to the work that goes into making said surprise. And a lot of times the anticipation of something is part of the fun. So by making a surprise, you rob the person of the fun of looking forward to something and the planning and putting things together and seeing people happy. So I'm not afraid of surprises, but I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I'm not a big surprises person. I also think, to your point, like, to put together a surprise party for someone, let's say, you have to put in so much work. So it almost is like everyone else is much more excited than the surprised party. And then they have to kind of, I think it puts you in a position to perform a bit, to be like, oh my goodness. Because it's
Yeah,
like,
you're
'cause
right.
you
Yeah, that's
recognize like
true.
it clearly worked. You're seeing these eager smiles on people's faces. Like, okay, it's time for me to sort of tap in. BAFTA, call me. Like, it's like, oh, you. And it's tough.
It's kind of like this was years and years and years ago when I was rooming with a couple friends, and they had built up this present that they'd gotten me for a long that I was going to love it. That was going to be the best, that really that they had, and they didn't have to get me anything. They're just my roommates, but they'd
Yeah.
found this thing and they were very excited. And I was going to like whatever was in that package because I'm not a horrible person.
Yeah.
At least I tried. And so I'm opening it up. And this was, in fairness, it was like during peak Office years. This is how long ago this show, The Office.
Yeah.
And I open and we did have a regular tradition of watching The Office as a group. So it makes some degree of sense within the context. But anyway,
It was
so
culture for a while.
yeah, it really was. And so I opened it up and it was a Dwight from The Office bobblehead.
Stop. What did you do? Were you just like, this is time for me to perform?
Yeah, absolutely.
How did you know?
Yeah. There we go. I'm so excited. We knew you'd love it. And so I still have it because it doesn't matter. It's a reminder that somebody loved me and thought to get were excited about giving me a present. It could have been literally anything, and it wouldn't have mattered because what mattered is that I had roommates at the time who were excited to give me a present. Like that's what it's about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember opening it and being like, oh.
Huh.
But my father cannot fake it.
Yeah.
He's challenging to get presents for. I
Yeah.
usually don't get him presents, and I'm like, I'll just take you to a play or do something like that because he can't hide it. He can't fake it. But I've gotten pretty good at I think most women are pretty good.
Yeah.
Of being like,
no, my mom is terrible.
Amazing.
My mom thinks she's really good.
Oh,
my mom believes that she is a performer. My mother has what she thinks is an EGOT in accepting things she doesn't like. But my mom, she'll be like, ha! Like she just like makes these noises and it's like, you don't like this? She thinks she's very talented at that, but my mother's so smart, so talented. That is not one of her strengths.
Yeah.
She can't sell it.
Well, he likes the surprise.
Yes. Yes. He
likes the kiss.
He wanted to kiss Hadley for some time. Yeah. But she was right that it had to be then when they had both kind of sorted some stuff.
When they were both honest and ready to go. Yeah. And that's when we get our 1 in every 50 relationship starts at the airport, and 8% of couples meet because of misconnections. So I have a whole new goal this trip to Toronto.
Yeah. Is it nonstop? Can we get you?
It is nonstop. I messed up.
We got to get you flying through Fort Worth or something. Yeah. Just anything.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm just trying to think of big airports.
Let us know if you think that the airport best, most likely. This could be a reality show.
Yeah.
Love it in Fort Worth Airport.
I just thought of that one because I have to travel a lot for work. I travel a lot. And that is one where you can easily just walk. I felt like I walked 2 miles to get to my connection. So I just imagine if I were on that long walk, at some point, maybe I'd run into
that's
the
true.
love of my life.
The new, they completely rebuilt the Salt Lake Airport and is unbelievable. What on earth were they thinking? Literally, you have to walk a mile just to get to baggage check. It's absurd. And I don't know what they were thinking. It is so badly designed. It makes me crazy.
This is good to know because
Yeah.
Salt Lake City is on my list. It's always been on my list because it's where y'all are is beautiful, but
Yes.
also unfortunately it is because of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Like there are
Oh,
certain things I feel like I need to see because I saw them on Real Housewives. I want
you
to go to the
need
beauty
to.
lab parking lot.
And I could take you to all of the filming sites of High School Musical.
Oh, that's exciting. I've
Yeah.
never seen the High School Musical movies. Again,
Ah,
I'm so sorry. I've been so apologetic this whole podcast. I don't know why that missed me. I was the exact age for High School Musical. I think
yeah.
actually one of the movies they graduate high school, and I think I graduated high school that year. Like I remember my friends going to see it in theaters and really having an emotional connection to it because they
Yeah.
were like, "We're graduating, they're graduating." I missed the boat, but I
I could
do.
I could also take you to all the filming sites of Footloose, the original film.
Okay,
So
now you
you
have
can.
my attention.
Okay.
You've got me back. I want to do
Yeah.
that, and I want to do wherever. I don't know if you've ever seen Real Houses of Salt Lake City, but there is like a retreat place where they go, where they sit in these tubs in dirt. I don't know why or how, but one of them threatens to drown the other, and I just feel like I have to see this place where a grown woman told another grown woman, "I will drown you." Like, what a specific threat! Like in this tub, what are you talking about?
Well, my guest room is always ready and waiting, ready to go.
Thank you.
So you won't need to schedule a stop though,
Oh,
because
that and
you're already in love. So you'll be
that's
good.
true. It'll be a nonstop. And apparently there's like an elaborate soda shop situation.
Oh yeah,
And I love
yeah.
a seltzer.
Mhm.
So
But
I'm
but
interested.
but people think it's Swig. Swig is not the best one.
Oh, okay. This is
Thirst is the best one.
ooh.
They have beignets. Swig just has cookies. Thirst has beignets and pretzels.
This is that insider information. Truly.
Yeah.
Okay, thirst. This
Write
is
it
good to know.
down.
Yeah, because
And
I
if
love a
Thirst wants
flavored
to,
seltzer.
if Thirst want or Swig wants to sponsor the pod,
Yeah, we're open. I like
we're
cookies.
ready
I
to
like
go.
beignets. I'm agnostic to
Yeah.
those.
Yeah. So there we go. This is a super cute movie. I hope you all enjoyed. I know we've gotten this very silly on this podcast, but you know, sometimes you have silly podcasts and it's fun.
That's
So
true.
I really enjoyed this, and let us know what you think if you see Love at First Sight. If you'd missed it, check it out, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And thanks so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And if people want to follow you and everything you're doing there at the Pilot Pod, how do they do that?
Well, at the Pilot Podcast, we review the pilot episodes of TV shows to answer your question. Should I watch this? We do that at thepilotpodcast.com. And we're mostly on Instagram at thepilotpod.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, I've been doing the movie show, KSL movie show on the radios on Friday, the last month and a half. So that's been super cool. So you definitely want to take a look at that. And make sure that you're following the podcast, the Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews for both of our podcasts. It really, really helps a lot and only takes a second. More people find us. It'll help us be able to do more podcasts if you put in those ratings and reviews. And if you are listening on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Most of our viewers on YouTube are not subscribers, like 80%, a lot. So if even a few percentages of those viewers subscribed, it would help us so much in the algorithm. So please, please, please like and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. And then we have our Patreon group, which is the biggest way you can support everything we do. And you get to be part of watch alongs and cool experiences, bonus episodes. So definitely check out the Patreon. And then we have our merch store where we have tons of fun Hallmark inspired and movie inspired designs. Take a look at that. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Talk soon.